Hello and welcome to the show. This is Do All the Things. On today's episode, I am doing some work on my main rig monolith because it has two issues that needed to be tended to. One of them a minor issue. I just have to replace some worn out fans. Another a more severe. Lately, it's been randomly restarting on me, and the only thing that's changed is my Radeon 6950 XT. So I want to troubleshoot. I might just be, well, I know I am. I'm going to be putting my Vega 64 back into here to see what happens. Stay tuned. So in my system, right about here, are a couple fans on my SATA drive cage that are badly worn out, which is something I'll discuss more later because I doubt lots of people care that much about it. It'll just be a little bit of extra stuff, you know, if you're tuning in to watch me work on a computer because you like watching people work on a computer. But the elephant in the room is my computer turning off on me for whatever reason. I'll just be using it and then all of a sudden it'll just shut off. Not shut down, not blue screen, just shut off and then turn back on. Almost like someone unplugged it and plugged it back in again. Or it's a symptom of something that I've encountered before, like overcurrent protection, over something protection, like the power supply is kicking, right? I had that happen before years ago. I was running a 1200 watt Seasonic Platinum, two Vega 64s. And then when I got my new 3000 series, I had a 2700X on an X470 before and it was fine. Thanks, computer, great timing. But when I upgraded to my X570 with a 3800X, all of a sudden I was having that symptom. It would just shut off on me and then restart. Actually, I can't even remember if it restarted. I just know that it did sure shut off. Now here's the thing. As I understand, that was overcurrent protection, half due to the transient peaks maybe triggering on the power supply. It turned out with all that hardware, I outgrew a 1200 watt power supply because this problem only happened when the system was under extreme load. If I was like torture testing it with both GPU and CPU, it would do that, which is an artificial situation, but certain heavy load games would also trigger it. I remember I was playing one of the Far Cry's at the time. I think it was Far Cry 5, and Far Cry 5 was triggering it too. It was just putting too much wattage, I guess. I upgraded to a 1600 watt EVGA Supernova G2, and then that problem went away. Now, the funny thing about this EVGA is I got it on discount. I think I paid 80 bucks for it. It was shortly after one of the mining booms. A miner liquidated it and it was missing some cables, so I got it for a song. But who knows, maybe there's something up with that power supply. Maybe this problem's still gonna happen. With the 6950 XT, the circumstances in which this happened, the computer was under no load. In fact, it was on the opposite of load. It would usually happen within the first 10 minutes that I was using the computer, and I'd often at that point just be maybe surfing some internet. Now, it comes and it goes. So this was happening regularly. Again, usually within the first 10 minutes of using the computer. After that, like I could go hours and it wouldn't happen. It would be fine. And then this was around March that it was really getting bad. And sure enough, that is when creators among the YouTube tech space were talking about these bad drivers for AMD. There was those videos coming out. I believe Jay and Gamers Nexus made a video about it, about how some guy in Germany was getting all these blown cards coming through. I think it was Germany, I can't remember. Freaking cards were melting. Some sort of driver glitch, and they're like, roll back your drivers, roll back your drivers. So I roll back to my drivers. The problem went away, but then it came back again. But then I found out it came back again because even though I rolled back my drivers, Windows Update would roll the drivers forward on me again while I wasn't paying attention. Thanks, Windows. The tell was when you go and you right click on your desktop to go into your AMD Catalyst. Is it still Catalyst? Whatever the software is, I would go to run it and it would say, this version's not compatible with your current drivers because I was running the rolled back version of the software, but the new driver updated in the background, screwing stuff up. That's a problem that seems to be happening with Windows 10. They roll up, they update your video drivers in the background, then all of a sudden your AMD software doesn't want to work anymore till you update everything manually. That's annoying. So I rolled back drivers again, and then I think I configured some sort of switch in the Windows Update to say, hey, leave my video drivers alone, and then the problem went away. Recently, it's come back, but I don't know if my driver's updated because I lost track of what numbers are what. Pretty sure I was still using an older driver. I ran a driver update, assuming that whatever this problem existed, AMD's fixed it by now. After all, it is May. Problem came back again, even though I updated the drivers. It happened to me twice in the last 2 days. Did it happen to me today? No, it didn't happen to me today. It happened to me yesterday, again within the first 10 minutes, and I was starting to edit a schematic. So I was doing actual work on the computer when it happened. That was annoying. Fortunately, I didn't lose a lot. The day before was an exception. I was sitting down to do my books, bookkeeping, finances, accounting, life, money, management. The computer had been running for maybe an hour or so at this point, and then I'm there just, you know, in the Excel punching in numbers, poof. That was cheesy. Again, I didn't lose a lot of work that I couldn't easily get back, but still freaking annoying. WTF, bud, we can't be doing this. So, troubleshooting. Now, I suppose now that I'm got less wattage in here running a single card, I could go back to my old reliable Seasonic 1200, but I don't feel like rewiring my whole computer at this time. My next major upgrade I might. In the meantime, one of the obvious troubleshooting tips that I could do, or steps that I could do, is I'm gonna put one of my Vega 64s back in it, quite simply. They were solid. I never had that problem with the Vega 64s under normal power conditions. To top it all off, I have another incentive. It turns out the 6950 XT, and apparently this was a problem with the 57 series before, the Navi GPUs, they're not compatible with my editing software. I currently run Vega 16, and I'm not wanting to afford an update right now because it works. I don't need to mess with it. The picture-in-picture function is not compatible with Navi. When you go to do a picture-in-picture, the back screen, the back behind the picture goes dark, black, and you have to do this hack where you use BZR masking to mask off the area where you want the picture to be, and then take the picture, put it in that masked area. It's a whole friggin' annoyance, bud. I never had that problem with the Vegas. So it's almost like for productivity tasks for my editing that I use this computer mostly for, I kind of maybe don't want this card. I probably maybe would be better off with my Vega. They're proven. And to top it all off, if there's one thing we've learned in this journey, it's that whatever the GPU does to improve your editing and encoding experience, yes, it is faster, but marginally so. There weren't huge gains over the Vega. The Vega was already a powerhouse for editing and encoding, compared to this card at least. So if I can get more reliability and some simplicity and compatibility, the fact of the matter is I'm not a hardcore gamer. I'm the kind of guy who, when I get into gaming, I want those graphics. I want that horsepower. I want this card. I want this card for gaming. But most of the time I'm not gaming. I binge game like during the winter-ish, you know, usually when it gets cold and snowy outside, that's when I do my gaming. But then throughout the spring, summer, fall, I don't touch it. At least not usually. I actually have been gaming a lot lately, but on my old Sega Genesis. Since I can get a ROM cart now, I've just been playing all the games. I spend my weekends just in the living room chilling. It's been fun. But either way, I'm not PC gaming. I don't have any plans to do any PC gaming. And if I do some lighter weight PC gaming, the Vega will do it. Heck, the last game I binged on PC was Prison Architect. Vega will do that fine. So I got nothing to lose. It's the kind of thing where I could take this card out, sideline it, until I want to play some wicked game, then I can pop her back in, bud. Question is, what kind of fuss is it going to be to just swap cards? You know, I want to criticize Asus. I've been shopping around for new motherboards, and I just want to like tear Asus a new a-hole for the prices that they're charging on their new motherboards. And what do we get for those prices? Features we don't need, like a quick release button for your PCIe. Like, but I'm not hot swapping cards here, or at least I never planned on hot swapping cards. Maybe I will now. Maybe that'll be a feature I actually use. So I don't have the overhead cam. This is the card in question. I am not putting my Asus Strix back at it because I put the air cooler back on the Asus Strix. This is my Sapphire Vega 64. I have it on the water block because I seem to have lost the air cooler for it. So boom, ready to go. As far as I know, there's nothing wrong with this card. No reason why I can't just slap her in there and give her a go. And we're gonna be, I guess, rolling some Linus trickery here. Or at least, you know, I always erred in favor of caution when I worked on my loop, and I'd go ahead and drain the loop and all that. But last time I changed my card, I didn't. Sure enough, something that Linus talked about, a little trick where it's like if you take your tubes off a certain way, the system airlocks and not a lot of water will spill out. So let's see how well that goes. Trying that again. This time, in the last video, I dumped a bunch of water. Let's not do that this time. Okay, so how did I do this last time that worked? I did the bottom, I plugged it, then I did the top. I think that's a plan. Geez, I'm in the dark now because the frickin' computer blocks my light, bud. Hopefully this guy cooperates and stays in focus. Here, stay focused on the computer at all times. Let us get our towels in place. You see, there is one concern that I have, and that has to do with, you know, if power supply indeed is going into a protect mode, one reason why that might happen is if there's something wet, if something's leaking, but there's no red flags of leaking, and the card itself, like, if it was gonna leak, it would leak down, not on the cards, so I don't know what to tell you, bud. Got 99 problems, but a leak ain't one. And as is with these particular barbs that I use, they kind of quick disconnect. They come off and on real easy. Let's see how well I can pull this off. Come on now, bud. Da-da-da-da-da. Work it out. Oh, little bit of leak. Plug it. Yeah, surprisingly, like very little comes out. No. Oh, I just let a bubble go up into the rad. Those are the hardest things to get bubbles out of, bud. Okay, so we'll just twist this off now, or we'll try to. Yeah, that worked. Where's my, oh geez, I don't have my plugs ready. When I'm working on my water loop, there's various implements that I keep handy. One of them is spare plugs, so that once I get a thing off, I could just, you know, twist a plug up into there. Be nice if that just sat there, right? Is there some way I could utilize this? Oh, really? I don't know if I could trust that, but it's a thing that exists so far. All right, let's see what's gonna happen when I pull this. Oh, wow. It's a frickin' Christmas miracle. I almost feel like we can get this pupper in and out without having to like really re-bleed the loop a bit, but well, the new block's gonna be dry, so. Specialty tool. This is a 5/8 deep socket, and it works for most of my barbs. Not all of them, quite a few of them, and this guy wants to spill just a little bit. Just make it not go in back of the card. Okay. Grab another little plug. Okay, we're safe. I think we're good to pull the card now. Yes, we have to undo all this power. We have all this power. Jeez, if only we had this much power in real life. Just occurred to me, this pupper's DRGB, and my new card, or no, the card I'm putting in is ARGB. We might lose a little bit of the RGB experience. All right. I gotta keep this pupper in here. Hey, you know, it's neat that it says it's Sapphire. The card I'm gonna be putting back in there's a Sapphire. Okay, looks like we're pretty much free. Now we just have to release the card. Who would have thunk it that I'd be pulling this card so soon? I'm doing it for science though. It looks clean in there. Like there's no red flags that tell me, like, I guess my coolant's doing well. All right, Vega 64. Oh, you know what? While we got the soap, maybe do a little bit of sucky. Just a little bit of dust on that chippy fan, bud. A little bit of dust on the chippy fan. Okay. Yeah, but we have open slots here now. Do we bother? We bother because it's bothersome, you know. Oh, this thing's gonna have to go up more. I'm gonna have to remove that screw. Everything's gonna have to go down one. I guess I could take this pupper, move it down here for now. Okay, I know I have more of those blocks. Those are not them. Do I ever have a lot of these things? Holy frick. Okay, I know this isn't part of the party, but I got this old IBM mouse here from, and you know how some of the plasticky stuff rots and it gets sticky? Such a cute little mouse, but like, dude, I was hiding in the back bowels of my parts drawer, never seen the light of day in probably years, oh boy. Okay, well that's a bit annoying. I can't find my spare cover specific to this case, even though I'm very confident in their existence. I guess I'm gonna have to use some generic ones instead. Hey, this one comes with some pre-fitted corrosion. Don't even know why I'm not aware that it was ever used in a water build. Okay, so let's snoot this in here, bud. Okay, she's secure there in the place. Why am I looking at the microphone? Hi, microphone, I'm looking at you. she's secure there in place. Now I just have to figure out these piping here. We got one that comes down from the top, and I do believe that's our in. And yeah, that would be our in port. It does look like it'll reach. There I am looking at the mic again. Now, what did we learn last time I did this? Do the top one first. Last time I did the bottom one first, putting it back in and get that Barbarella in place. And we gotta move this plug over because that's the outlet. I still toy with the idea of putting both the 6950 and the Vega 64 in there to see if I can get the best of both worlds. I did briefly put my air-cooled one in there with the 6950, and it was like, not a huge heck of a lot of benefit. If anything, it was a bit like convoluted to switch between them. Oh, in this iteration, we can fit the bin underneath. Okay, so maybe get a little bit more just in case. Okay, wish me luck. Drippy, drippy, hooray. Oh boy, yeah, you pour a little bit. You pour, oh, there's some in here. You pour out a little bit, but it wasn't a tragedy. And that's funny because it has an open path to get through now, but it's not throughing. Where's our other pipe? Now, is this gonna be the blup that glubs the gloop? Or is this gonna go just like smashingly? Oh, it might, it's a little bit not spaced the same. Guess we're gonna see. Yeah, it wants to come out. Hey, come on. Why you drip now but not before? I need 3 hands. I'm losing water. Come on. Okay. Actually that lines up just nice. Okay. An inverted crisis. Yeah, sure. Averted. The frickin' power connectors are frickin' oppositional, bud. Aren't you just a little piece of cheese? Okay. We'll mess up our wiring just for you, bud, just for you. Sapphire, it's like flip-flopping on us. Well, she ain't pretty, but should do. I think we're gonna omit RGB for now. Like, I'd have to find a port with a splitter. You know, there's all sorts going on in here. Well, I do have to pop the back panel there, so we'll see if there's a quick access. I didn't lose much water, because we gotta kind of maybe reprime this pupper now, right? What do we have here? We have LED resistors. There are no current clear. What the hell is this hair in here? There are no clear and present free RGB headers. Here's what I use to split the power. So I'd have to find like a run, like this guy here. And because I use stupid tape, it's gotta be a little bit sticky. Why can't you be like the last tape that I had a roll of that gets dry? So I took 2 of these guys, stuck them together, put a cable in between, and then that's how I made a quick and dirty RGB splitter. Maybe not necessarily quick and dirty, but all we do now is take that little jumper, replace it with this. It doesn't like it. It needs to go the other way. This hole's a bit deeper. There we go. That's what we need. We need a tech tape, some sort of matte black tape we could use for cable management that won't get all sticky and annoying. Because of course, learning from my mistakes, I'm just gonna go ahead and continue using this tape. All right, we're split. Now we'll just get the card snipped on there and good enough. Now I gotta get the juices flowing here. So where is my PWM control module. Get pump power onto here. Pump PWM control onto here. I haven't got overhead camera, you can't see details, but pull in some bench power. If I press this button, I should get this flowing. Indeedy, it is flowing. I can just sit here, fiddle with the PWM until it gets going the way I want it to. Oh, look at those bubbles go. You can't see it, we're on the inverse of this case. Hey, it just occurred to me I have a camera I can move. There, you see that? You see that, bud? Whoop. Get them bubbles going. Just sit here, let it simmer for a bit. Didn't even lose much water level. I might be able to get away without topping up the raz this time. The raz. Don't top up the raz, but the raz. The reservoir. The reservoir doge. Okay, I gotta give it some time to settle its affairs. In the meantime, I'm gonna move on to the second issue here. All right, so I just spent like the last hour fixing on the fans on that bay that I was talking about. But it got tricky, so it turns in, it's going to be its own video. Stay tuned to check that out. In the meantime, Cards installed, systems bled. I'm just gonna run this thing and see if that problem comes back. And unfortunately, I'm probably gonna release this video before I come to that conclusion, or I don't know, maybe I won't. I don't even know how this goes down sometimes when I film these videos. So if I haven't shown you the results, you're gonna have to stay tuned for a future video to find out what happened. I do plan on upgrading this system soon, which means I'm gonna have to compare performance of the new CPU, the old CPU, all that. So I'm gonna have to put that 6950 back in there. But I'm gonna run this Vega for a while, and if anything happens, I guess I'll let you know. I'm babbling now. I'm really not sure how I'm gonna approach this project. Just troubleshooting, buddy. Just troubleshooting. Stay tuned to find out. Come on now. I didn't expect my workbench to look like this.